Just ahead on ABC 6 News, first at 4. Bye to Bill. It's the end of an era. After 24 seasons, Bill Belichick and the Pats say their goodbyes. Caitlin?
Fans are reacting to the big news from Bill Belichick. I'll be live in moments with their reactions.
And our team coverage continues. Nick Coit and Ian Steele live in Foxborough to break down the rest. Those stories starting right now on ABC 6 News, first at 4.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC 6 News 4.
It is an end of an era. Bill Belichick leaving the New England Patriots after 24 years. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon at 4 o'clock. I'm Tiffany Murphy. Our ABC 6 sports team has been following this story throughout the day and really throughout the week and for decades now. Nick Coit and Steele join us live from Foxborough with more. Guys.
Yeah, Tiffany, it's funny that you put it that way because you're looking at two guys that grew up here all our lives. And obviously, for the last quarter century, Bill Belichick has been a part of everybody's lives here in New England. But after 24 seasons, as you mentioned, it is the end of an era for the New England Patriots. And Bill Belichick and the Pats parting ways.
6-time Super Bowl champion Bill Belichick, the head coach no longer of the New England Patriots, as he and the team have mutually agreed to part ways here on a really historic day in New England, in sports, really around the world, this news traveling far.
Yeah, obviously, and they wanted to present that united front today. Let's take a look at the press conference that was held at noon this afternoon. We found out the news through multiple news outlets this morning at 7 a.m. It was put out there that this was expected to happen. Well, Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, walking in the room together, Ian, and presenting a united front, as we said, and saying that they mutually, amicably agreed to part ways.
Multiple times during this announcement press conference, Kraft and Bill Belichick, hands, hugged, smiled, thought back to the good old days, the times where they were on top of the football world. Those times have come and gone, and the Kraft family really recognizing that in making this move, approaching Bill Belichick about it, and in the end, they have agreed to part ways. The greatest coach of all time, no longer the head coach of the New England Patriots.
Here is Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft this afternoon.
Robert and I, after a series of discussions, have mutually agreed to part ways. And for me, this is a day of gratitude and celebration.
Yesterday, we met and mutually agreed to part ways amicably. Like a good marriage, a successful head coach-owner relationship requires a lot of hard work. And I'm very proud that our partnership lasted for 24 years.
It really is remarkable. 24 seasons, obviously 6 Super Bowl championships, but today again, Ian, they presented a united front. What was it like being in the room? Because obviously this is a day that we probably anticipated here for a few months.
It was tense leading in. I mean, we woke up this morning, we got the announcement that they're going to hold this press conference at around noon. All the cameras in there from around the region, national media there, everyone's setting up and rushing to get everything ready to go right at noon. Everything's ready to go. We know it's about to start. There's tension in the room. All of a sudden, the door opens and the mighty Bill Belichick walks in. And we've been in a lot of Bill Belichick press conferences. He walks up to the mic and he cracks a joke with us.
Right.
He looks up at all the cameras and he goes, I haven't seen this many TV cameras since we signed Tim Tebow. You guys remember Tebow Mania. That struck here in New England for a little while one summer. So Belichick seems at peace with the decision for sure. We saw that here today. The Krafts do as well, but the Krafts have a lot of work to do moving forward in rebuilding the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and we landed here. It really eased the tension of probably a season's worth or a few seasons worth, Ian, because we landed here because of a 4-13 season. The Patriots are no longer the Patriots. The Patriot way has eroded, of course, and so we look back here at how we landed on this day, Bill Belichick and the Patriots parting ways after 24 seasons. After 24 seasons, nearly 300 wins for the franchise, and 6 championships, the greatest coaching run in the history of the NFL is over. The Patriots and Bill Belichick are parting ways.
Well, I've always appreciated the opportunity.
The success was immense. 2 different waves of a dynasty, and teams built through drafting and developing, discipline and culture, the Patriot way. And Belichick found a flag bearer in his greatest player, Tom Brady.
The thought of him not being in New England is hard for me to think about.
But in year 4, without number 12, it was clear the erosion of that Patriot way had taken effect. Draft picks stumbling in their development.
I feel like I let people down with my play.
An offense that was last in the league in points scored.
It's a very simple game. You got to score points.
Even with hints of a throwback Pats defense, the 2023 season was a bottoming out. A 4-13 record, the worst mark in Belichick's 29 years as a head coach.
Disappointing year for all of us. Not anything that any of us are in any way content with.
The expectation from the owner before the season was clear.
My objective for our team is that we make the playoffs.
That expectation was not met, and so the question was obvious. Was it time for a change? The coach seemed willing to bend.
Look, I'm for whatever, collectively we decide as an organization is the best thing to help our football team.
But after the annual meeting at the end of the season, the relationship coming to a close. The era is over. Bill Belichick is no longer the coach in Foxborough, and the Patriots are moving on. And, of course, Robert Kraft also had a press conference at 2 o'clock this afternoon to take some questions about the decision and mentioning that fact that Bill Belichick had said on Monday maybe he would be willing to bend in terms of the personnel responsibilities. Robert Kraft saying really wouldn't work. He had much more to say, so we'll have that coming up at 5 and 6 o'clock.
Yeah, he also mentioned a little bit about what they're going to look for in the next head coach of the New England Patriots, but today is all about the now former head coach of the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. We've got a full evening of stories and coverage coming up your way. We look back more in depth on what got Bill Belichick to this point where he had to split up with the New England Patriots. We'll look at the glory days, some of his best players here in New England, and some of the funniest moments, believe it or not, that we've had with Bill Belichick throughout the past 24 years.
He's Ian Steele. I'm Nick Coit. Back to you in Providence.
Thanks so much, gentlemen. So during today's press conference, Robert Kraft spoke about the direct impact the team's wins and losses have on the city. So here to talk about the fan aspect of this big decision, ABC 6 News reporter Caitlin Gilhouse joins us live from Foxborough with their reaction. Caitlin.
Well, good evening, Tiffany. As Nick and Ian just recapped, this does mark the end of the Bill Belichick era here in New England. With that being said, we spent the day outside of Gillette Stadium speaking to fans and hearing how they're handling the news. Nothing felt too out of the ordinary. Patriot Place was just as busy as any other day. But for some fans, the view of Gillette Stadium in the background, a reminder that Bill Belichick is no longer part of the Patriots organization. Most fans were surprised by the news, although after a rough season, they anticipated some changes.
We're going to miss Bill Belichick. 24 years of greatness, 9 Super Bowls, 6 titles. What else could you say? It was amazing. We wish him the best of luck.
It's a wicked big bummer. I mean, first it was Tom Brady, now Bill. It's a completely different team. As a Michigan man myself, it was losing Tom in the first place was a huge loss, and now, just a big loss, big bummer.
And now begins the search for a new head coach. This will be the first time since the 21st century that the Patriots will have to have a search for a coach. For now, we're live in Foxborough. Caitlin Gilhouse, ABC 6 News.
Thanks so much, Caitlin. Meantime, fans are weighing in on our Now Local News app after that big announcement. They're paying their tributes to the former coach and sharing some great memories, like Rhonda sharing her boys and their new haircuts. Thanks for the memories, she says. And we have viewer Lisa who says, thanks for the memories, Bill Belichick, as her dog and herself are watching the Pats on TV. If you have videos you would like to upload to our Providence Now Local News app, you can do that by heading to the App Store and search Providence Now Local News or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. ABC 6 News will continue our coverage on air, online, and on our Now Local News app of this big announcement today.